Hi everyone, my name is Anton Weiss. I consult and teach and blog as Automato, and today I have to break the sad news to you. The configuration management tools are doomed. Well, they simply are not good enough. The deployments with them are not atomic. They depend on external resources that could change in between deployments, and they only manage things we've defined. And all this brings our service to a state that is hard to know. And of course, there's the configuration drift that we still can't control, again, because of the deployment time variance and the manual tweaks on the servers that we all know happen, and the ever mysterious beatrot. So what do we do? How do we keep our servers in a state that we expect them to be? Smarter people than me came up with an answer. We use immutable servers. So the immutable infrastructure is the new king. We build our servers once, we never change anything, and some go as far as saying, let's block SSH access to the servers to make sure nothing ever gets changed. So now nothing ever gets changed. Our servers are immutable, we've reached bliss, and we can rest in peace. Doesn't sound too good to me. There's a problem here. This order is death, and we want life. We want to be agile, and we want to continuously deliver value to our customers. Well, of course, immutable isn't about preventing change, it's about controlling change. So the answer is, you want change, you build a new instance, and then you test it in staging. If everything is good, you go to production, you retire the old instance, you replace it with a new instance which is better. What? I only want small change. Now I have to rebuild the whole thing. What a freaking headache. So we could, of course, build smaller boxes maybe, things that are faster and easier to build, especially if we have the automation in place. And we'll build small boxes, and each one will have one single purpose, which will bring us to the hot trend in software architecture. Let's use microservices. Microservices are good. We all know microservices are good. And then there's another even hotter trend in the industry today, which is? Right. You're all right, of course. Let's use containers. Look, Ma, we now have containers and microservices. And the question becomes, how do we manage all these small immutable thingies on our table now? Well, of course, we need to clearly separate the stateful from the stateless, or there's another word from the ephemeral. I really like that word. Our infrastructure is now ephemeral. I recently heard John Willis talking about this. So it's ephemeral and immutable, talking about aesthetics. And now that our services, our instances are ephemeral, we need to externalize all the stateful stuff outside. So we need to externalize monitoring and logs, and of course we need to externalize and virtualize storage, and we need to have service discovery in place and load balancing, because things are ephemeral, they appear and disappear, and then we'll need a management layer to manage all this complexity that we've built. And then we look at the picture and we say, all these things downstairs there, aren't these infrastructure? So can we still even call our servers infrastructure anymore? And if they're not infrastructure, then what's immutable now? And there are other questions, of course, for example, debugging. Let's say we have a problem in production, and for some stupid reason, we cannot recreate it in staging. Happened to you? Well, happened to me more than once, certainly. And the replacement criteria, how do we know if an instance may be already borked and it's time to replace it with a new one that is good? And, well, tooling, which tools do we use? So tooling is still inadequate, and there's the slower change rate that we need to deal with, and of course the substantial initial effort to build all this system. And well, there are challenges, but with all the challenges, I still think that immutable infrastructure is a very viable pattern that could help us a lot in knowing the state of our servers, and we should be using it where applicable, because the immutable servers may be the only solid thing in the fluid infrastructure of tomorrow. Thank you.